Oh, is it that time again? Hi, everybody. What's up? I'm John Zidar, and that's Taylor hiding over there. Let me get that.
Hi.
Thank you. There she was. This is Thursday afternoon. I told you I would be here doing a live streaming. We do this for Penny Boys, our Discord group. We trade everything over there, and we teach you how to trade everything over there. That's where I spend my time putting up a lot of information. There's a lot of people to talk to. Some of it's free, some of it's paid for. You choose what you want to do. I got an invite down at the bottom from the Stock Wizard if you want to come on in. So how you been, Taylor? We don't actually talk enough through the week.
Oh, we're doing pretty good over here.
I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, because I'm married now, so I have to get used to saying that.
Oh, okay, right. We gotcha.
He's not here ever, so
I
whatever.
thought your dog might be with you or something. I know people like that. We. All right. We have got a queue here already of stocks. We've got a bunch of people that are interested in a few of the same. Kishira, hello. Good to see you. She was here real early. Ravi, I don't know if you've been here before, but I'm sure glad to see you here now. We got Jimmy Jean. No jokes today. We're just going to say, hello, Jimmy Jean. Good morning. Hi, Belmore. Nuggle. We got you. GMBL for a 1 in 400 reverse split tomorrow. Some of you may be interested in that. Could act like Mullen did today. Let's not go there. John Rodriguez, late to the show, but on time, actually. Look at that, 3:32. God, all you guys are early. I'm loving this. Chris Vaughn, Bill Fagg, great to see you. Jerome Horace. Wow, lots of you before it even started. Making me feel good. All right, let's jump on into this, folks. We've got some all lined up here, and I've been able to get that information for us ahead of time. We're going to start with a couple of interesting ones here. These came from Kishira. Now, it's interesting because I did bring one of these stocks up the other day in my video. I've been trying to give you some more information. We normally talk about 3 stocks in my videos, but I see a lot of hot charts, and it's a shame. I'll see, oh, gracious, I'll see something like 200 hot charts. Honestly, when you go through the $1, the $2, the $3, because each search presents more opportunities, and I will see lots of hot charts, but I can't share them all with you. But I've been sharing just a few extra hot charts with no due diligence. Well, SBNY was the first one I shared with you. She was set up for a breakout, and she broke out. The very next day, she went 48%. Well, it wasn't until the very next day when I looked at it to see what she had done that I had discovered she was on the expert market. Well, we can't trade expert market. Well, at the same token, there's another stock. Now, this is Signature Bank, in case you haven't noticed it. Signature Bank was the one that went through the crisis this last year. Everything came down. They're starting to come back. And if you look over here at their disclosures, it stops in May. But look at all of these SC13Gs. These are filed whenever a new investor comes in and buys so many shares that they own a percentage of the company. They get voting rights. We got a ton of them here. So it was ultimately going to happen. Well, this is related to another stock right here, SBNYL. This is Signature Bank as well, but these aren't common shares. These are preferred shares. Now, I don't know what the heck preferred shares are doing on the market. The last time I saw preferred shares, I bought into it, MMTLP, and it turned out that they weren't supposed to be on the market because they were preferred shares, and they should have been off the market. Well, when I got into it, it was being pulled off the market and was given a date. Well, they pulled them off the market 2 days before that date saying, this ain't right. These shouldn't be here. And there was $4 billion worth of shorts that just got forgiven. So I don't like seeing preferred shares up there because they can pull the rug out from underneath you anytime. But both of these are on the expert market. So all the trading that is going on is not anybody in the public market. These are hedge funds, institutions, brokers, marketers, people like that, people who can make advantage of those prices behind the scenes. Now, normally, the only reason you're on the expert market is because you are late with your financial filings. Well, we don't have any of that information here. It says delinquent SEC reporting. Even back on the other one, let's check the SBNY, the common shares. See what we have for disclosures here. We don't have any financials here. Normally, you could see 1 or 2 quarters and say, well, once they get those in, they're going to come back on the open market. And you at least have a feel for it and you know what you're looking for. We have no clue here. I don't know what's going on. So it's running. Both of them are running real hard. And I'm going to let Taylor show you the charts because they're nice charts, but we're out of the game. Until they come back onto the market, I don't know when, I don't know how, I don't know where. It's just out of our game. Do you want to show us those charts?
Sure. Okay. So yeah, I was just trying to figure out because they're different prices and stuff. It's this is the daily chart on the SBNY that you were just talking about. I looked at the L one and it's completely different. There's no volume and it's just different.
Yeah, I think it's at like, but it did take a big jump, right? It's up at like $3.25.
Yeah, right. So let me share this one instead. It's 2 something. It went up to 3 something yesterday or
Look
Wednesday.
at that, breaking out on the expert market. I don't see that ever happen. So when this comes on the market, I would expect it to explode. But grabbing an expert market coming on the market, there's only one way I know how to time that. On the otcmarkets.com website, they have a tier change page, and it tells you who's changing what tiers before the market opens. And you can see if something's going from the expert to the pink or pink limited. You can see if they're coming back on. And those do produce huge jumps. But normally they haven't been running before they come back on the market. They're dead in the water on the floor.
That's what it looks like. I mean, there was just nothing, like no volume. We're like 6, 7, up to like 20 cents. Now we're up to $2.50. So more than a 1,000% gain right there.
Yeah.
But like you said, I mean, how do you know this is going to run? I mean, did you say you saw something? I mean,
no. Oh yeah, I knew it was going to run simply because the heat in the chart. We looked at it 4 days ago. So if you look at the 4-hour chart, that's where I find my heat.
This is it.
Yeah. So 4 days ago, whatever it looked like caught my attention. And I said, folks, this looks like a breakout. She's been doing nothing for a long time and she's doing something and she's gotten on top of the 50. Looks like she could break out. And
so that must have been like late last week or early this week, like at the beginning of this week.
Yeah, right in that flat zone. Yeah.
So
and I was sad to see it was on the expert the next day because I was going to go brag about it. Oh, I told you, look, the expert. You can't make use of that.
Yeah.
But it's a great example. It just shows you that something is going on. And in case you didn't know it, folks, banks are big deals. I know they sound like a dry sector, but there's a lot of banks. And this year has been a hard year on banks. There's been a lot of consolidation and reinvesting and realigning. There's been a lot of activity. And even on the OTC, there's about 200 banks, and they're all on the OTCQX. They're there. They could be on the major exchange, but they get a real good price deal if they have less than 2,000 members, 2,000 investors, and they can stay on the OTC. And they give you all the information there if you like banks. All right, that's enough banking information. Let's move on to another stock here. Get rid of that one. Oh, this one comes from Kashera too. We didn't have a whole lot coming in, so we did line these up. This is another company that is in desperate condition. She's in bankruptcy. She has delinquent SEC reporting, Pink Limited. This is Yell with a Q on the end now because the Q means she is in bankruptcy. Not every Q on the end, but most Qs on the end represent bankruptcy. She finished the day at $4.50, had about 15.5% gains. Let's see what basic information we got here. She had an increase in volume going from about 433,000 to 622,000. Share structure, it's not bad. Outstanding share count is only 52 million. I don't know what the float is, but it's not going to be any higher than that, and it could be a lot less. Market cap, we're at 202 million. Let's check out the money situation. Well, you don't see that very often on the OTC, especially Pink Limited. She's in the billions of dollars of revenue for the last 4 years. Right now, we're over 5 billion. They get to take home 3.4 billion, and they're in bankruptcy, right? It's always these people making all kinds of money that declare bankruptcy. Here at the end of their June quarter, they were at 1.1 billion. Got to keep 3/4 billion of it. Still, they're in trouble. Cash in the bank, about 132 million. These numbers all have 3 zeros behind them if I was confusing you. Sorry about that. All the numbers on all these charts. Total assets, 2.1 billion. Total liabilities, 2.5 billion. So we are holding stockholder deficit of about $500 million in this company right now. That's why they're going bankrupt. Debt. Let's see if we have anything over here in the disclosures, anything recent. I did bring up something here. Yeah, these filings are about the bankruptcy. You never know if they're going to follow through with it or if they're going to restructure. Normally, if a company has a brand that everybody knows, if they are generating strong income, nobody wants them to die. They will find some way to resurrect them, reorganize them, restructure them, and get them back out there making money since everybody spends their money with them anyways. This doesn't look like a restructuring. Everything I'm reading here, this is everything they've sold so far. They're taking bids, they're taking offers, they're selling, and they say they're ready to sell the rest. So that doesn't sound like anything's being saved. It looks like they're heading out. So I don't see a longevity investing into this company. Playing it, well, here's the thing. I don't know what it is, but there seems to be dark catalysts when a company says they're going out of business, they're going bankrupt, they're being delisted. For some strange reason, investors want to push the price up. It's a dark catalyst. It happens too often for it not to be what we want to be happening. But it is short-lived. They pop up as like maybe a last act of getting oxygen before you go under, because they do. They fall from that last bounce. She had a nice bounce today. I don't know why people are playing it, but that's what they do. Have we gone over the volume yet? We sure did. So let's go take a look at Yell Q.
So here's a chart, but I was looking at these. I think we were talking about it last week. These little, you can look at the financials here. This company has been around for almost 100 years.
Whoa.
And it's going out of business or bankruptcy. I'm not sure exactly, but I went to this website and it was like,
is
let me
Yell?
just show you. It's saying end of an era after nearly 100 years of business.
Yeah, I appreciate that because I wasn't sure if this was like Yellow Taxi or Yell, the phone book. Or
Yellow, yeah, that's what I was looking at. So here's their website, and it says it right here. They filed it on August 6th. There's more announcements and stuff. If you want to take a look at this, the website's myyellow.com. If anyone's interested in this company, if you want to read more about it, there's a lot on their website about their announcement.
So they're into shipping goods around the country.
Yeah. So, here's their,
wow.
tools. This is like a company's been around since 1924. So that's just wild to me. So more than the chart, I was more just interested in what was going on. Like you said, kind of reminded me of the Hertz thing. Does anyone remember that?
Yeah. Good turnaround.
Yeah. They had filed for bankruptcy and then all that. And that was running.
We talked about them too. We saw them. Well, I don't know when we saw them, but it looked bad when we were looking at them. But we said the exact same thing. It's a well-known company, big brand. They are making money. They just didn't have their debt organized right. So somebody came in and built it up better and let the pyramid go again.
Yeah, so there is a gap here. It did gap up. Now, so I was looking at this just to see if there was any hope. Like their last earnings report, their last one, I guess, that they reported was on the 9th of August. And in anticipation for that, I guess, is why it started running. And we got another one coming up in Thursday, February 1st.
Wow, that's a long way off. And she's running now.
Yeah, so it's like a month and a couple weeks away. Maybe there'll be some more. I mean, I would not trust something that's going bankrupt, but if you look into the company, when I was looking at this, I mean, they have 30,000 employees and they've been around for 100 years. I'm more interested in the company than I am the chart. I mean, which is weird because that's not my job right now, but really interesting. So yeah, obviously it gapped up like at the beginning of this month and has been running ever since.
Yeah, that doesn't look good to me. I mean, if it wasn't going bankrupt, I'd be paying more attention to it. But now, with that sort of bad news looming on it, it's like, you got to expect this to come tumbling down sooner or later. And I don't expect she's pretty much at the high right now of this time.
Yeah, it's almost like a double top situation on this, or even like a triple top.
Although you might be surprised if it turns out to be a cup and handle.
I was going to say it kind of looks like that too, but we do have this gap. So, I mean, the problem is what's going on with the company is I don't like right now. Anyway, so
sad to see 100-year-old trucking company. I mean, that's
really
as American as you get. Right there.
It really is sad. So I'm just like, wow, I've heard of this. So that's why I started clicking around. And yeah, so anyway, it has been running for a few days. That must have been off that news or off of the. I mean, if you line up with when their announcement was, which we just saw it on their website, it was like August 6th. So right before that is when it started running because someone knew something, obviously, because they announced it on August 6th and it was running before that because this is July 28th, July 31st. I mean,
right.
So someone knew something and started making it run. Came back down. Now we're running again. So it's running on news of something. Maybe they're going to be like Hertz. I don't know. But
no, that's what I'm trying to get across here. Hertz kept talking about restructuring. That word came up over and over again. Restructure does not come up in that press release. Selling the rest of our assets is what came up. So I don't see hope there. If you can't read it, don't give it hope. If they're not saying they're going to stick around, don't think they're going to stick around.
Right.
You've been told. So if you want to gamble your money by trading some sort of play, I hope you're good at it because that's a dangerous trade right now as far as I'm concerned. All right, I'm ready to jump into that next one. Yes, we are looking at Toner. Taylor says we've looked at Toner before. She's keeping
2 weeks ago. Yep.
I don't remember. Now, I know I've looked at Toner. I just didn't know we looked at it here. This is Toner One World Holdings. Finished today at a very low price, 0003. You can't get any lower than 0001. She's on the pink. She's current. She's got both of those validated marks I'm always telling you to look for. That's the only validated information you get with pinks. So that's real important. Looks good. Shell Risk tells us that they are claiming to be in business. They're doing something, but they're not showing us any money. Where is the money? We'll see if that's true here in a minute. So let's go back to the start here. They tell us here that Toner One World Holdings is an emerging growth company that is expanding in the world of digital commerce initiatives in finance, IP licensing, cryptocurrency, and high-value NFTs. But when I was going through their most recent financial, this is the description they give us. And it makes sense with the most current news we've got. We are a development stage company. The company is currently focused on research and development of trade score software to assist individual traders in automating their trading experiencing for purchasing stocks. And the news details what this is. The company is currently in the design and development phase of its TradeScore software and the launch of its TradeScorePro.com website. I haven't even checked to see if that's up yet. So they had a piece of news come out here not too long ago, December 6th. They are coming out with this AI trading chat GPT virtual human assistant called Maddie. It is not just going to be chat GPT that you can type and talk to. It is going to be a lookalike person that is going to be able to talk to you as people talk to you. And it is going to be able to monitor MetaTrader. And if you're trading there, it's going to be able to do whatever they start to incorporate, whatever it learns to do. Right now, it's at its beta stages, but this is going to actually be able to do scans for you, find hot stocks over the last week, the last hour. I mean, it's going to be an AI assistant on your trading platform that you can talk to like a real person and is handling your business while you're trading. Imagine that. I find that really, really exciting. They tell us here as the first virtual human capable of interacting with MetaTrader marketing trading software, Maddie will offer users a unique and engaging interface, enhancing the overall user experience and bringing new dimension to online market trading. They are making a deal with Soul Machines. This company is getting with Soul Machines. Soul Machines is renowned for its advanced AI-driven virtual humans that possess emotional intelligence and lifelike interactions. This partnership with Soul Machine aims to create a seamless and intuitive virtual trading environment, allowing users to engage with Maddie in a more human-like and natural manner. I think that's pretty hot. Was there any other news here? Forex business, they are doing a lot here. I see a lot of news, and it all deals with their cryptocurrency trading and stuff. And this is their newest piece of news. Let's check out the relative volume. It's exciting. We've got 3 times their normal volume, jumping from 34 million, which isn't exactly under the radar. But keep in mind, at this price, something like $330 will get you, or $100 will get you 330,000 shares. So this isn't a whole lot of buying, but it is a big number. 34 million jumping to 106 million. Share structure, that's a big number. Wow. Outstanding share count is over 7 billion shares. The insiders have 328 million. We get 6.6 billion shares. I would just tell you that when this company starts to have some success and the price starts looking reasonable, closing in on a penny, expect a reverse split. Just expect it. I'm checking. Oh, market cap, we're at 2.1 million. Disclosures, anything fresh and hot over here? Not since May. So that pretty much gives us all the information. They've got a new technology. They're working with MetaTrader now, and they're getting that from a new deal from this Soul whoever. So they're making a deal. There is catalyst right now. The stock broke even today. She didn't move anywhere, but I bet she did. You want to show us that chart there, Taylor?
Yeah, I'll show it to you, but there's not much to see.
Oh,
This is the daily chart from the past year or so. It has not seen above 0003 since February. Okay. The last time we looked at this was on December 7th, which was right here, this day right here. And since then, it has done the same thing. This is 0002, this is 0003, and we're just literally barcoding.
and I'm presuming you got your Heikenashis on.
It does, yeah.
Right, right. It's the only way we can see that. It makes sense there. You can actually see movement. Otherwise, it just looks like a barcode or a picket fence. It looks
There's
like
the 4 hour. I mean, that's literally what's been going on.
That's why we normally don't look at stocks under 0005 because they're like eggs. They just need some time to, whatever that word is, gestrate or whatever, to grow. And this has taken a long time. The only thing that's nice is she's finally gotten over the 200. Everything is over the 200. So at least she's in a position to start doing something. And we've got a catalyst. So this, if you like to catch stocks early, this looks early and she's got a nice catalyst.
We can just get over 0003. I mean, that had to have been what I said last time because these lines were already drawn, these 3, 0001, 2, and 3. So yeah, there's not really much else to say. I mean, since 2 weeks, it's done the exact same thing, literally between 0002 and 0003.
Now, what is that green SMA that you have right in the middle of that box?
Here, that's the 21.
The 21. Okay. So using your Heikenashis and stuff, we can actually see the price may be going sideways, but you can see all of the SMAs are coming up to it. The price went sideways, waiting for that 20. You can see that red bar dipped on it, jumped, and she's riding that 20 up right now. She could very easily get to the 4 tomorrow or Monday. Maybe. I'd watch for it. I think the catalyst is enough to get this over 0005. And when you get over that, then you start getting a whole new breed of people looking at it.
Yeah, we gotta get
a wee bit of hope here. She's got more hope than most 000 stocks does.
Yeah, that's about it for this chart.
Fair enough. All right, next one, Nuggle. What is a Nuggle? In my book, it's a chunk of marijuana. N-U-G-L, Nuggle. Well, it doesn't look like I'm far off here. They sell legal medical marijuana. This is a Jamaica-based company, Kea. Nuggle seems to be 2 companies now, Nugga and Kea. They've got them listed up here together. I am familiar with the Jamaica portion of the company. They've got this resort over in Jamaica where you trip on LSD, and it is for,
What the heck?
yeah, it is a therapeutic resort. Um, we still haven't allowed, we got ketamine in our country, but we don't have LSD yet. But Jamaica, they're allowing it. And it's quite popular and it's very ritzy. It's very nice, very tropical. It's, it's not a party zone. It's a pretty ritzy place. So this has had some news, but before we jump into that news, let's take a look at some information on the company. Relative volume surprisingly dropped more than 50% from 76,000 down to 30,000 shares today. Thousands. Share structure. Outstanding share count is just under a billion, just under 900 million. Insiders own most of it. They've got virtually 3/4 billion shares. That leaves us a float of 153 million. Now, normally I wouldn't call that a low float, but when you consider how many the insiders have, we got a real small amount of this outstanding share count. Market cap, 1.7 million. See if we have any disclosures over it. No, let's check the financials first before I forget that. Financials are growing. Over the last 3 years, they've been taking nice jumps from 122,000. I can't do that. Sorry. 1.7 million to 2.2 million. And they are taking home profits. Bottom line looks good. Quarterlies, they're a little out of whack. They're falling here for the last year. We're down to 421, and it cost them money for those revenues, but they still got to take home profit. 107,000 in the bank, sorry. 3.8 million in assets, 1.8 million in liabilities. So we're in good shape here. We got 2 million stockholder equity. That's positive. We're not holding a bag here. All right, we've got a lot of these 1A POS and qualifies. I normally see these filed prior to public offerings. They don't have a whole lot of information in them that you can recognize, but it appears, let me see if this is the one. Yeah, I did dive into this. I recall it appears that they want to do a $900,000 public offering. Right, which comes out to about 50 million shares. I was doing the math. I think that's about it. And you can throw that on here. We're getting very, very close to being diluted. They're not going to have any more shares they can put out there. If they need more money, well, the only way they can do it is either a reverse split, pull them back in so they can sell them again, or they've got to increase their authorized share count so they can just keep pumping them out there on the market. That's what it looks like right now. But as I said, they do own the most of them. Disclosures we already covered, right? Yep. And the news. All right. So here recently, there was a deal made with Silo Wellness. Silo Wellness, I do believe, is on the open market. Yes, ticker SILFF. They too are a cannabis company. They had forged a partnership with this psychedelic wellness company to work on retreats. Well, I guess they really like working with each other. That was in August. Just 3 weeks later, Silo Wellness announces letter of intent to acquire the entire company, Nuggo and Kea, in a transaction valued at $43 million, halting trading of the stock's units. Now, there's no more information here. We don't have any more news. I was trying to get some more information here. Let's see. This is the most recent piece, right? This one came out on the 29th. That's it. And there really isn't any news here, any dates that say when it's going to close or anything like that. So I really don't have any idea there. And the filings over here, that goes all the way back to June. So that's not going to give us anything. So we've got a deal hanging in the air here from a company that's on the market taking over this company. What's up? We don't know. So that's hanging out there, and I'm not real crazy about that. Looking at our price, we had 100% gain today. How about that? Jumping from 002 to 004. She's pink, current, got no problems. We've got our validated information. It's the best you're going to get with this company. And that pretty much covers it for Nuggo. We've got catalysts, but it looks like we're going to have more dilution. But the insiders own a huge portion of it. And with this merger coming up, I don't know where they're going to go with it, folks. With these LSD retreats, they're only in Jamaica, but we've got Puerto Rico, we've got other territories. Obviously, you can't bring them into the continental United States, but you can expand them onto all these islands. So that's just food for thought. Let's take a look at the charts now for NUGL.
Okay, so this is the daily chart. So yeah, it's really just I don't know.
Yeah, I don't like that.
It's there's really no, I mean, I'm trying to look at the whole thing. I mean, as a whole, we're coming down, obviously, but we have had some more volume within the last few days. And, in one day, that's a lot of movement. I mean, the low was 001, and then the high was 005. That's actually 500% from low to high, and that's
Yeah,
in one day. But I mean, how are you going to know that that's the low? Like, 'cause that was the lowest that it had ever been, ever. So that was a lot of movement in one day.
Yeah, that right there says a lot.
Mhm.
Today we hit the lowest she's ever been.
Mhm.
So you've got to take that into consideration, just that in itself.
It did, yeah. This is the 4-hour now. I'm just moving around because I'm just like, eh.
The only thing I see in that picture is you're starting to get your 50-day to level out a little bit. And you normally don't see a breakout until those huge SMAs are flat. They're heavy. They're slippery. Once they go flat, you normally will see an attempt. Whether it's successful or not is a whole nother story. So that's the only thing I see right now. Not to mention she did hit an all-time low. And if you watch my videos, you hear me talk about the crouch and pounce. A lot of times before she goes higher than she's normally been, she goes lower than she's normally been, like a cat does. Before it can jump higher, it has to crouch lower. And I show this to you over and over on the charts. It's just tough to tell before the pounce if it's a crouch. So this could easily be a crouch before the pounce. The SMA is leveling out right now, so we've got something going on there, and you've got that deal hanging out there in the air whenever that closes.
Yeah.
Outside of that, though, do you see anything that looks?
I don't.
I don't either. But we appreciate you bringing it to us, Velmore. Thank you. The more the merrier. Oh, that's okay. I don't mind you being faster than me. All right. Mullen, I see you had GMBL up there, and I think maybe I missed that. I saw the Mullen. Where's that? Yeah, GMBL 1 for 400 reverse split tomorrow. Could be like Mullen. Folks, I got so upset today. I knew it was coming, but when it happens, it happens. Mullen did another reverse split today. That is her third reverse split in a year. A year. She did a 1 for 100 today. She did a 1 for 9 in August and a 1 for 25 in May. I bought this about a year ago, and I've been averaging down, believing in this company. And today I am left with 8 shares at $111 average price. Don't let them talk you into this. Oh, it's the same price. You just get more money for every share. No, it costs you more money for every share. Every time they do a reverse split, it costs you more. So now I've got 8 shares for my $899. So, yeah, these reverse splits are really killing us, folks. And I don't know what to say about Mullen. I pretty much said it on Twitter today. You screwed us, Mullen. We were your investors. I hate you. I hate you. I'm very upset. So let's just move on to the next one before I get too wound up. So we have Rio FF, Rio 2 Limited. Just covered this a couple days ago. Don't remember how many. Let's take a look at the general information first. Wow. Well, that's a huge jump in volume. That's over 10 times her normal volume, folks. Let's just call it 10 times. 1,000% increase, going from 84,000 to 845,000. Now, they're not huge numbers, but that is a lot more interest than normal. Share structure for Rio 2, 260 million outstanding. We could probably count on that. I normally don't look at the float here because it's normally outdated, but that's just last month. And I doubt it's really changed since then, though it could have. It says it's 227 million average float. Market cap 75 million. Financials for this company. We got nothing annually. We got nothing quarterly. We got money in the bank though, 5.4 million. Sorry. Assets 109 million. Total liabilities 34 million. So we've got $75 million of equity in this company. Now, what that number is good for, take that number and divide it by the share count. That tells you what the average price would be based on equity. It's a close proximity. Let's see. Disclosures for the company. Not a single one over here. So let's take a look at that news. See if I can refresh my memory. Right. The Phoenix Gold Project. We talked about the Phoenix Gold Project. This is a big gold project down in Chile. They have about 5 million ounces of gold there. They've been working on it for 3 years. Got something like $210 million already invested in it. Well, they put it in their feasible study, which they needed to get approved by the Chilean government. It got disapproved last year. And that really hurt. It hurt them hard. So they redid it, resubmitted it. They came back in. And yes, the 20th was supposed to be the final decision from the Chilean government if they could proceed with this mine. The lenders were all back on board. The investors were all back on board. So we were just waiting for the decision. And it looks like they got an approval. It looks like it. They say here, the company reports that its wholly owned Chilean subsidiary, Phoenix Gold Limited, has been successful in being granted approval of its environmental impact assessment for the construction and operation of the Phoenix Gold Project. And this is a real up-to-date mining operation. They're using all the newest technologies and the newest things that are socially acceptable, and they finally got it passed. Well, I expected that to be a big run. I don't know what it did, honestly. This just came in before the show started. So I just got to see the jump. And it wasn't a very big jump today. I don't know what it did right after it. So maybe something more happened. She finished today at 31 cents and had about a 7% jump today. She is on the top tier of the OTC, the QX. That's the best tier. This is the most transparent. You get all your filings up here, just as if you were on the major exchanges. You get your financials. This is the best stocks you're going to get on the OTC market. This is the high end. The pinks would be your ghetto, though QP would be your middle class. And they've got all the green ticks you could ask for down here. Verified profile, transfer agent, independent directors listed here. You got to list these here if you have plans on uplisting. And they're penny stock exempt. They may be 31 cents. Anything under $5 is a penny stock, but they aren't considered a penny stock because they've proven themselves to be reliable. They've had millions of dollars over the last 3 to 5 years, and they've kept up with their financials. So they have shown us that they're not playing games. They're not a startup company that's risky. So it's a good company to be looking at right now. So I'm real curious now to take a look at the chart. Did we look at that volume? We did. I want to see what happened right after this.
Right after what? Oh, sorry.
It was the
My bad, everybody. Sorry about that. Okay, so this is the daily chart. So here's what has happened the last week.
We looked at it on the 19th.
Okay. Well, it wasn't here, but you all maybe looked at it on your channel. So yeah, we got some major green bars here. Now, so the reason this is here is because when I was looking at regular candles, this was a gap up. So they obviously had good news between Tuesday and Wednesday of this week.
Yeah.
We had a major gap up.
So what was the jump? I don't know what the game was.
So we closed Tuesday at like 22.5 cents and then opened the next day at like 28 cents and then closed at 29 cents. So like 22, or it opened that day 21.22 to like 28.29 cents.
And then climb some more today.
Yeah. Now we're in the 30s.
There we go. That's what we're looking for. Yeah. News that comes to you in a timely manner. You don't want to hear about it after the fact.
Right. So we are moving. I would like to see it. Are we still on regular candles? Yeah, I'd like to see it come up here and fill this gap from June of last year. That would be nice. We did have a little gap down of June of last year. Would like to see that come back up. I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility now. It looked like it for a long time.
Right?
Um,
That's a huge jump. That's a change of trend.
yeah. And I'm just looking at this like, yeah, this could be something. We got some
Where's
good
that
news.
40 cents up at that buy zone? The yeah, up
This
there about
this
40
gap,
cents.
yeah, is between like 30 about 39 and 41 cents.
Okay.
Yeah. And this is between like 24 and 28 cents. But
She's
so we're in
whooping.
between those two gaps right now. So
And we're talking about a hard asset here. We're talking about gold. It's not exploration. We're done with that. The company is getting going now. And they say they're going to create 1,200 jobs down there just building it. And then they're going to have 550 people working it for 17 years. That's how long it's going to take to get all the gold out of the ground. So it's not like a hypothetical new technology. They're grabbing assets out of the ground. So it could be a very good time to get into this company.
and look at the 1 hour. It looks really, really nice. Has a nice run on this 1 hour chart. Yeah. I mean, look at this following this 9 like perfectly.
Floating.
Yeah. Yeah, this is one to watch for sure, especially when we get up into this area. It'd be really interesting. I like this one. I
That
like
may
this
be a
chart.
good buy zone instead of getting risky because she could come back down in this
Mhm.
market. You can never tell. But if she can get up to that zone you pointed out and just push
Mhm.
it, then I'd feel
Yep.
more comfortable she's serious about climbing.
Yeah, definitely. Right here around 39 cents. I like this level more than I do. Well, another scenario I would like is maybe for it to come back down into this area and come back up. It could fill this gap first before it starts reaching this. So there's a couple of scenarios there, but I think this is a good buy zone in this area. And I mean, it's still only 38 cents. So it's not like we're talking, you have to wait till it's 1,000% gainer before you get in. I'm not saying
See,
that.
the thing about mining companies is I really don't like to look at mining companies because they're just hard for me to understand. But the first factor that is most important to me, are they actually making any money? I don't want to get
Mhm.
into biotechs that are research and development because they need money. I don't want to get into exploration mining companies because they need money. It doesn't mean they don't have pops when good news comes out. It just
Mhm.
means my money's tied up until it pops. And I don't want to play that game. So I haven't been looking at this mining company, but now that they're going to be starting to make money, it may be a good time to consider it. I've never ever entered a mining company, never done it. All right, I'm ready for the next one.
Okay.
We covered this one too. GNS, Genius Group. Not to be confused with TOON. I think that's their new ticker for Genius Cartoon Company. That Genius Group, Genius something or other, used to make cartoons. They still do, but that's a whole nother company. This is Genius Group Limited. They're into online education, and they're doing it in every which way they can now. Virtual reality, metaverse, augmented reality. They're in 200 countries. They've got 5.4 million members. They have just now incorporated AI. Would you believe that the online education business is already a multi-trillion-dollar business every year? And by 2030, they anticipate it to be over $10 trillion. So there's a lot of market to be grabbing up, and they've got a huge footprint. This is their website, just to give you an idea. They're primarily working with entrepreneurs, but they do all education. They believe entrepreneurs are the ones that are going to change the world. And rather than just educate them and train them, they look for their strengths and then hone their natural abilities. They did a spin out here recently with Entrepreneur Resorts. This was a place where entrepreneurs could not just work together, but live together. Paradise, right? It was so popular, they spun it out, but not onto the stock market. They spun it out onto Upstream. At the same time, they delisted themselves from Upstream. But they also have education for all ages, kindergarten through high school, college, universities. They do it all. And they are creating subsidiaries in lots of countries, the UK, South Africa, New Zealand. And they are now working with campuses, specifically working with specific campuses. They are isolating certain industries like the film industry. So they've got a lot going on right now. Let's take a look at the relative volume. It jumped today about 100%, going from almost 2 million to almost 4 million. Share structure, we got a decent share count here. Outstanding share count is just about 28 million. I don't know what the float is, but it's not going to be higher than that. That's okay with me. Market cap, about 22 million. We didn't cover it yet, did we? No. 78 cents is about where she finished today, and she dropped just a little bit, about 2%, and she's on the major exchange. I love penny stocks on the major exchange. You get to trade them for free. You get to trade them pre-market, aftermarket. Now, we should concern ourselves with the price of any major exchange stock that is under $1. We don't have time to go through them all. Normally, it would come up in an 8K, but it could come up in a 6K. A NASDAQ warning saying you've been under $1 too long. You got to get it up. If not, we're going to throw you down to the OTC. And they normally get 6 months to do that. They got to get it over $1 for 10 consecutive days. Close. You can go under it during the day, but you better close over $1 at the end of the day. They may have one of those. I have not gone through all of these. Let's just take a look at a couple of these sixes, see what we've got here. I think these are probably going to be all with the news. The news, they've been making a lot of deals, folks. Matter of fact, I think I've got this highlighted over here somewhere. No, let's just go straight to it. The most recent piece of news, the deal that they made was with an AI fat brain. I think we've talked about fat brain before. They are on the open market. They did a partnership with them. They've done a partnership with OpenXO. They did a partnership with Daily AI. They also did another partnership here with, open up for me, VR Campus. Through all of this, we've been getting money poured into the company from insiders. The CEO himself put in $4 million to help the company. I believe this was interest-free. He's not trying to make money off of it. Then we had another $2 million brought in from some friends of the CEO. So now they got that on top of it. So you've got money coming in. You've got lots of companies coming in. And I've always considered that an important thing to consider. If you're looking at a company that has this great technology, this great product, but they can't get any deals, partnerships, joint ventures with any other companies, why not? If you've got something good, someone wants to cash in on it. This company's got lots of companies aligning with them. So I like that about this company. I do believe they have some money coming in. They got lots of money coming in. Over the last year, from 2021 to 2022, they more than doubled their revenues, going from 8.2 million to 18 million, and they're getting to take home about half of that as profit. Quarterlies, major exchange stocks, you're normally not going to see quarterlies. Sometimes they don't even have to file quarterlies, just semi-annuals. What do they have for the balance sheet? We got 16.8 million. Don't do that. Assets, 91 million. Liabilities, close to that, 84 million. But we still have positive shareholder equity. We're not holding a bag here. We got 7.1 million in this company. I do believe that covers everything except the chart, which is on Taylor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's on me. Okay, so did you say 6 months or 3 months with the $1 rule?
They have 6 months to recover.
Okay, I already had this line here. I don't know when we looked at it. Huh?
To be qualified for it, it sometimes can be 6 months. It sometimes can be 30 days. We are seeing that 30 days you were under $1, you better get it fixed. So how long does it look like they've been under $1?
Well, the last time we closed above $1, that's why I was asking, was on October 12th. So here in a couple of weeks, that'll be 3 months. Almost 3 months.
Like I would go. So much hair. I would go through the filings, folks. If you're invested in this company or thinking of getting invested in this company, I would go through those filings. There will be a date. It will say NASDAQ right up at the top, NASDAQ contacts. So you can't miss it. Just click it open, read. If you find it, look for a date. Just scan down looking for a 2024 date. It'll probably be April sometime if they were told. And that is the date. And if they don't have it fixed, it's going down to the OTC. That's good information to have before you invest.
Yeah, that's really good information. So the 200 on the daily chart, you can see it's just a massive decline here, and it's right at around $1. It's at $1.02 right now. So obviously, we're gonna have to get above that. That's gonna be a really serious line. The
Well, at
$1.
least the opportunity is available. The 200 is right next to the
Yeah,
price of the stock.
we're
She
not
has
far.
a choice here. What choice is she going to make is the real question.
Yeah, and we do have a couple of we got one here and one almost here, golden crosses. So that's good news.
But to
Um,
be honest, I do see the company as being a good investment. I'm not
mhm.
talking trades now. I'm talking down the road. When you've got a footprint of 200 countries with 5 million members and you're only growing, I think this could be a buying opportunity way the heck down here.
Yeah, and if you're on TradingView, you can go in there and look at all this other stuff. We were talking about this. Different platforms give you different information, or like just n not different as in like one's wrong, one's correct, just like more available information,
And
just
I
more.
love that about the Citron. I'm not crazy about the way the charts float around, but I like the way you have access to information that's
Yeah.
visually easy to read.
Mhm. Yeah, and there's a lot of it. I mean, you could just go through these and you can click on different things and look at what they're by country, by their source, by I mean, all this different stuff about their estimates, their actual revenue, and just all kinds of information. It's just right there at your fingertips if you have TradingView.
And when you
I don't
find
even think you have
something
to pay
that's
for it.
important to you and you know where to hone in on it, you just keep going to those same spots. You find the strong zones and you don't have to worry about all the information. But God, is it nice to have it at a finger touch like that?
Yeah. So anyway, that's all I got to say about this one. I mean, we are running a little bit. The 1 hour probably looks good. Yeah, not too bad. So this was because of this
She is
volume we've
showing
been
a
having.
change of trend. And I mean, that's the first thing you've got to see. It has to stop falling and start doing something different. The next thing probably is going to be sideways. So after that, you want to see a climb. Well, that's kind of what we've got going on here. She has been
Mhm.
falling. She's been wrestling with the 200, and now it looks like she's trying to climb. That's the
Yeah.
best you can hope for is trying. So she's worth a watch, and she's definitely got a lot of catalysts, a lot of companies with her, and a good future ahead of her. So she may not climb tomorrow or this week as fast as you want, but if you've got time and you're willing to stick by her, I'll bet she pays off well in the future. That's just my personal opinion.
Yeah, I don't mind this. I mean, we do have higher highs and higher lows. I mean, this is one to watch for sure. Keep an eye on it. Keep an eye on those filings and things. I'm just concerned about the $1 thing. I know you said that it was 6 months, but we're pushing 3 months already under $1.
Yeah, so if they
It
were
hasn't
warned
closed
three
over a dollar.
months ago, there's 3 months left. If they just got the warning, they could have up to 6 months.
Oh,
But
yeah, I don't know anything about when they got the warning, I'm just
that's
saying.
information you would have to find if you want.
Okay, okay. Well, that's it for that one.
All right, I've got one kind of set up here. We ran out of time and I saw this one, and boy, this was a tough one to find information on. WRLGF, West Red Lake Gold Mines. This is a mining company, I am presuming. Let's see if we get a description. West Red Lake Gold Mines is a mineral exploration company that is publicly traded. Flagship gold mine is Madison Gold Mine. They are in Northwest Ontario, Canada. And Canada has yielded over 30 million ounces of gold from this area. So we've got a company here. First thing I want to know is, are they making any money? Exploration is what they told us, so I'm expecting no. So while we're here, let's just take a look at the balance sheet. They've got 12.5 million in the bank, 70. Why do I keep doing that? Sorry, 73 million assets. Good. 23 million in liabilities. So even though the company's not making any money yet, they are holding about 50 million in stockholder equity. What's that worth? Well, let's look at the share count and see. Where did that go? What was that? We got about 200 million outstanding. Don't know what we do. All right, they've only got 4 million shares, which is these mining companies, they like to hold their own shares. So I find that a bit interesting that they've only got 4.2 million shares. 191 million looks to be the float. 94 million is their market cap. And currently they're at 58 cents, and they had a 16% jump today on the better tier of the OTC, the QB. It's better than the pinks because you got to audit your financials. They've got all those green ticks over there, so they're looking secure. Let's take a look at the relative volume for today. About double, a little less, but close, from 220,000 to 425,000. And let's see what we've got for news. All right. They're talking about their mines, of course. And the last piece of news before the day's news, or just the other days, West Red Lake Gold intersects 47.44 gold grams per ton of gold over a 3.2 meter area. Blah, blah, blah. Lots of technical stuff. Bottom line is it's good. They found what they're looking for. They know where it's at. That's what they're letting us know. Then we've got some information here that came out on the 18th. West Red Lake Gold announces AGM results. Now, I'm not real sure what this is. It sounds like they're buying something. The company further announces that on December 14th, to a fund managed by Sprout Resources for deferred consideration related to the company's acquisition of Pure Gold Mining Inc. And then it tells us that they're issuing so many shares at a certain price per share. So it looks like they're doing some sort of acquisition here, but there's not a lot of information. Is there anything we could get from a disclosure? No, not really. I don't even know what a D is. No, we're not going to get anything from there. So I don't see a whole lot of information over here, but the stock was moving. Maybe you can see something in the charts.
Maybe.
I'll be right back.
Okay, you're good. So this is the daily chart, and I was just looking at this. This was the stock split that happened in, it says July of 2022, but what's weird is if you go across the chart, it stops in November of 2021, and then it just starts over in January. So I don't know what's going on. It came back because the 200 now is starting here. So I think it was gone and then came back, and then they just mushed the charts together. I don't really know what's going on there because you can tell, I mean, something happened because the 200 is not starting until July. So we don't have 200 days on here. That's very strange. I don't really know what's going on here with that, but I don't know where John went. So anyway, let's see. So this is the 4 hours. See if we can find any signs of life here. So this is hey John. So I was saying that when I was looking at the daily chart here, when this stock split happened, it says it happened in July of 2022, but the chart like stops in November of 2021 and then just starts over in January. I don't know what's going on, but something happened because the 200 didn't start until like July. So that makes sense that it would start in 2023. So that's 200 days. So I don't know why it stopped and then came back, but whatever.
Right, some more due diligence. Maybe there was a merger that got hung up.
Yes, something
maybe
happened.
Fell off the market for something, or were halted, and the major exchange needed some information and wouldn't let them go until they got that information. Lots of things can make a stock disappear for a while.
So I guess, yeah, all right, so that makes sense. So right here, I'd say probably, I don't want to make it too big, but like right in this area is kind of where I've been seeing like some resistance here, and we're kind of entering it here again. So, I mean, all of 2023, I mean, it's just been here. So, obviously I'd like to see it above this area. This is like the 58, 59 cents area. Because going back even farther, I mean, it's not really helpful.
No.
Just because of what happened, especially. So I'm just kind of looking to see. I think that area is pretty decent.
I mean, it looks like it's just going sideways with some volatility, but it really isn't going anywhere but down more often than up.
Right. It's like it'll hit this area and it's like, wow, this is really running because it just blasted through this and then just downtrend. Now we're hitting this area again. So
right. I mean, if it was going to break out, it needs to get over that. So we're at that point to watch it. That's
We
about
just
all
had a
you
golden
can say.
cross too. So I mean, yeah, there's the potentials there, but I also see what has happened when it gets to that area. So keep an eye on this, see what those filing dates are and all that stuff. Like, see if there's going to be some kind of catalyst. We're going to have to get something to, because we're just at this resistance point. So I'm not going to say like, yeah, I would totally get into this,
Oh
but
no, the rest of that is the hesitation, the
hmm
resistance point.
hmm
It's breaking it. That's the
yeah,
buying opportunity. So we're at the point of watching for a buying opportunity, but it ain't there yet.
yeah. But it's trying. It's trying. I
That's all you
respect
can
that
ask
it's trying.
for. In this market. Trying is all you can do.
Yeah. So we'll keep an eye on this one. I'll put the date on it.
Well, I see somebody got the message. I have been getting this stock requested over and over again on my YouTube channel. 3 different people have asked me for it, and I think I've responded to all 3 of you. First off, it isn't a penny stock. Every time I look at it, it's not a penny stock. Yes, it's close, but it was a penny stock and it started climbing away. This is NGL Energy Partners. I don't know a lot about it because I haven't really looked at it. Let's see what our relative volume is. Dropped a little bit today from 574,000 down to 459,000. Share structure isn't bad. 131 million outstanding. No clue what the float is. Market cap, oh, that's nice. 716 million. Current price is 560. We had a little over 3% gains today. And she's on the New York Stock Exchange. Let's see, what does this company do? Do we get a description here easily? No. So we'll jump into a piece of news. NGL Energy Partners is a Delaware limited partnership, a diversified midstream energy company that transports, stores, markets, and provides other logistics services for crude oil, natural gas liquids, and other products, and transports and treats and disposes of produced water generated as part of the oil and natural gas production process. Gotcha. So they're moving all the fluids, one kind or another, doesn't matter. They're moving these fluids. So let's see about the news. How far back does this go? Not far back to October. NGL Energy is an attractive event-driven opportunity. Financials, a lot of news about their financials. NGL Energy Partners LP announces 2023 open season for Grand Mesa Pipeline starting December 6th. I have no idea. The open season will close on January 5th. The company is pleased to announce that a binding open season will start today, December 6th, and end. Grand Mesa provides takeaway capacity for crude oil producers. It originated in Weld County, Colorado, and extends approximately 550 miles. The pipeline is capable of receiving, I'm not sure what this is about. They're not real clear. Open season. The total capacity being offered in this open season is 40,000 barrels per day for delivery into the Cushing hub. All right, now we're getting a little more information. Thank you very much. I hate reading in the dark. Outside of that, we don't have a lot of information here at all. And we do have some Form 4s over here. Now, I started at the top already to see if there was any purchases. None of them had a P or an A. The top one was actually an A. I didn't mean A, I meant S. This doesn't mean that they bought them. If it's not a P, they didn't purchase them. They did acquire them. They got 12,000 shares for something. They don't tell us exactly what the reason was, but I've been studying these codes, and that's got nothing to do with buying them. Let's see. Do any of these? No. And it's the same number here, 12,500. So there's some sort of deal going on right now where each one is getting a portion of shares. Could be for a deal, could be part of payment, could be bonus, could be Christmas. What do I know? Let's see if there's anything else we got over here that's current. Where'd you go? There you are. 8K. No, that's it really. So I don't see a lot of news up front. Now it seems to me, wait a minute, I do remember some news. They said that one of the Pelosi's and Mark Green, invested in this company. I remember that was one of the catalysts that they brought out, was that there were some big names investing into the company right now. So there is some catalyst going on. And just because we don't see the news here doesn't mean it's not out there. If you've got better sites, Yahoo Finance or Inside Tracking, go to those sites and check the news. Don't not look. You could be missing something hot. And I'm sure we're missing something hot here. So let's take a look. We did cover everything else, right? Yeah, we did. Let's take a look at the chart for NGL, another nuggle.
Huh. Yeah, there's got to be some kind of catalyst going on here, because this is like the last year on the daily chart. And yeah, so kind of started running at the beginning of the year from like $1. And we hit this, I kind of highlighted this area because it was the resistance, and then we just kind of consolidated there for a while. This is a good area. This is like between 378 and 392, give or take. So saw this resistance kind of turned into like a consolidation area, and it actually came back down and tested the area, and then has just been, I mean, just completely hyperbolic. This is just wild how much it just flew. I mean, we got up to a high of $5.66 today, or 5.65. Crazy. 5.66.
God,
yeah, wow.
I like to see a stock like that, but I like it when I'm in it. To see what has it's happened. It's like, well, should I get in now? Because the question you always get is, how high do you think it's going to go? I may be the wizard, but I have no idea.
Well, I looked into that. We haven't seen this level since like June of 2020. So it's been 3.5 years since we've been at this level. So kind of doesn't know what we're gonna do. Like you go back, this is like the last time we saw this level in 2020, early summer 2020. Look what all it's done since then. We saw a low of about $1, just at $1, like exactly $1, almost like someone was waiting here for it. $1. Now we're at 5.60, 5.50. Wow, that is crazy.
Unbelievable. That looks good. I would be looking for a dip. Honestly, I'd be looking for a dip. Right now we got the rip, and that's a strong one. I mean, that's going parabolic right now. And it looks like she just tagged that SMA and she's running again.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to tell you it's not going to keep going, because I don't know that either. I don't know what that's going to do, but it's definitely an eye catcher. And if she's been running for a year, it may not be a bad one to get into, but still, I'd wait for the dip before I got in. Knowing where she's going to come down, though, I'd have to break out my Fibonacci, because at this point, who really knows?
Yeah, at this point, we don't really know. I just kind of marked it off and just kind of looked at what had been going on the past year or so. Yeah, shoot. I mean, it has to be running on some kind of news, because this is just insane. But then again, we are working in whole dollar amounts now, so
yeah,
this isn't 1,000%. Don't get me wrong; it's still a lot, but it's not.
Right.
It's not like it's 1,000% or something, or 5,000%.
It's worthy of putting on your watch list.
Yeah, for sure.
Comes back down and dips. If you can't remember why you put it on your watch list, come on over to this show. I always found a notebook is good, more than just a watch list. Why you're watching it, what the catalyst is. You'd be amazed how much that can help you.
Yeah, and also write down the date that you saw it, or the date that you are marking it on your watch list. So, like, I always, that just helps me to be like, okay, what else was I looking at during that time, or whatever. I don't know. It just helps me to write down all the information you can, so that when you do reference
we got a request for you, Taylor. We do Buffalo Fireside Chats. I don't know if you're familiar with him, but he likes to do a lot of interviews with CEOs as well.
Okay.
He would like you to look at the chart. He tells us that there is a Chinese reverse merger coming, and the price moved from 0006 to 0012 since the announcement. Closed at a high today. I guess that's what it's saying. Chart thoughts. He's interested in the chart. So that's your zone.
All right. Well, you're going to have to give me a second. You keep him busy for a minute. You look.
All right, that's fine. Let's see IGPK over here, Integrated Cannabis Solutions. Sounds like it's a cannabis sector, but with companies changing operations and then having their name lag behind, you really don't know what these companies are doing anymore. And a lot of companies are getting out of cannabis. It's been tough for them. It has been bloody hell hard, especially American companies.
Let's see announcement. Okay, I see
Let's
what
see
you're
here. The
saying.
most recent piece of news we got for them. Is there anything here about this reverse merger? Dun, 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 dun. Houdini Labs, shareholder release, shareholder update. That's June. Announces acquisition of Tahoe Group. So I see an acquisition here. Let's see just real quickly what we got. Oh, way too many shares. We got 4 billion outstanding. 2 billion of them belong to the insiders. We get just a wee bit less than they got, 1.9 billion. 4 million is the market cap. Are they making money? Oh, yes, they just started making money. Last year, they ended at 1.1 million and actually got to keep 750 million of that. Quarterly, things aren't bad. Looks like they made all of that in 1 quarter, then dropped really hard and came back up. So they are making revenues right now. They got nothing in the bank, zero. 3.2 in assets, 3.1 in liabilities. So we're barely keeping our head above water. We got $149,000 in stockholder equity. Our relative volume dropped today by about 1 million, going from 5 million to 4 million. And she finished today at 0012. You had that number on target with about 9% gains. Pink Limited. Now that's my concern. That means she's late on one or more of her financials. You know where to see the solution. Just come and see how many they're late on. All right, here's our financials up at the top. Last one they filed was the 18th, 2 days ago, third quarter. Let's see here. We're looking 12-3, 12-3, 12-6. Boy, oh boy, they had some problems here. They've been having to redo a couple of them, old ones, 12-6. Where's 3? Where's 323? There's 323. There's 12-6, 6, 9. All right. And they got their attorney letter in. This all looks righteous now, folks. This just went in a couple days ago. Their quarterly report. You don't need an attorney letter with quarterlies, just the annuals. And it takes 3 to 5 days normally, if they're doing their job right, to get these approved. And that's going to drop off. And they're going to go back to Pink Limited. So that's going to be outstanding. Where did you get this information, Buffalo, about a reverse merger? Let me guess. Twitter. Seems the other day I was out of the loop and I was looking everywhere, but I never went to Twitter. And it was right there, the very first tweet up at the top. And it's like, you feel so stupid when it's obvious. It's just sitting there and you didn't look in the right drawer. All right. So that's all I can find over here for the company. Let's take a look at that chart. I bet you're ready now.
Yeah. Okay. So I clicked on this just to see, but let's see, 10 employees. There was nothing that really like stood out that was something interesting. Actually, was this the one? Or was it the other one? There was another. What was the one that we just looked at a second ago? I don't know if you knew that it had dividends at first, but they went away.
Wasn't that NGL, the
Yeah,
energy company?
that was it. Let me look at it real quick. Was that the one with the?
And folks, in case you think dividends,
Sorry.
What?
Oh, I was just looking up something else. Go ahead.
Dividend stocks have a lot of different ways to play them. Most people think, well, you buy them and you just get your dividends every month and you never sell that stock. But what if you buy the stock just before the dividend date? Any dividend date, right? They say you got to own them before the 21st. So you buy them on the 19th. They put out the dividend at the first of the month. Then you sell your shares. Guess what? You just made a profit. You get paid for that dividend. Buy it just before they give it. Get out just after they give it. It's just that simple, folks. And if the stock isn't really moving, that's a way to grab a profit. And there's a lot of dividend stocks that give stocks monthly, every quarter. I mean, I guarantee you'll find dividend stocks to play like that.
Yeah, and
Go ahead,
you
hon.
don't even have to you don't have to hold the dividend stocks until you get the dividend either. You can just have it through the ex-dividend date, by the way. As long as
Right.
it's recorded, yeah, then you can still get it even if you sell your shares.
True enough.
Anyway, so yeah, so they were saying a fireside chat person, whatever their name was, I don't remember. Anyway,
Buffalo
they said,
Fireside Chat. You got it.
yeah. Okay, so they were saying it went from 0006 to the high of 0012. So it did after their announcement. So that must have been something that he was talking about. I guess that must have been they must have talked about it then on the
Yeah.
11th of December. That could have been it about 10 days ago. So it's been moving since then. I'm guessing that's when the announcement was made. Because it did run after that. So the volume increase whenever they must have announced it then because it doesn't make sense otherwise.
Yeah, I'm checking.
Um,
I'm checking.
okay. So we had like an increase in volume and we just turned green and started moving up. Um, I mean, let's look at it on different time frames. So yeah, this looks really nice. I wonder why it came. Let's see. So it must have just been waiting for this news, and then when it did happen, I mean, we did have this run, but if I was hanging on to this now, I'd be, like, kind of worried to just keep hanging on to it.
Yeah, there's lots of news on Twitter. There are lots of people who have posted information.
Yeah,
And
that's
as
what's
much
kinda
time as
worrying me, is
yeah,
that
as
this
much
might be
time as
like
I
a 5.
spend there, yeah,
Say
go
what?
there, folks. We can't go into all of this, but if you're interested, just put in the ticker, just the ticker with a dollar sign in front of it. You'll get all the news about this merger. At least there's a
Oh,
ton of
okay.
it.
Oh, that's good to know. Yeah, 'cause, I'd be worried that this was a buy the rumor, sell the news kinda thing, just because, that is something that, "Oh, it's gonna do this, it's gonna do that, it's gonna be whatever." So, people are buying it, and then when it does happen, it falls. I've seen that happen so many times with, "Oh, this big news, this is gonna be huge, it's gonna be huge," and then it happens, and then it just plummets, whatever this is. So, I mean, yeah, obviously keep this on your watch list if there's but I probably wouldn't be personally buying it right now, but, you know, keep an eye on it like we do everything else.
Right.
Yeah. Let's
What
see what
time is it? Oh, we're at 5:17. God, I'm having too much fun. Let me see if we missed anybody here. Buffalo, Jimmy Jean, looking down at the very bottom. Did we cover them all? I think I missed that GMBL up there at the top. We went into Mullen. But boy, I sure appreciate all your comments. I am happy to see you folks actually giving us information. If I miss something and you know something, fill in the blanks for all of us. We'll hit that comment and get it up there if we see it, I promise. Because we want to get out as much information as we can, but we've only got so much time. So that's rocking a hard place there. But God, I enjoy sharing my time with you. I enjoy sharing my time with Taylor. Taylor and I like to talk afterwards. God, do we gab? Jeez, oh Pete. And we do talk a lot about stocks. We talk a lot about you guys over here. So thanks for showing up, folks.
Yeah, we
I
talk about you guys after this is over. Just kidding.
did you see the way his hair was parted? That was fun. We love you just like you love us. We'll see you next week, folks. 4 o'clock Thursday. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm
We'll
just
be
making
here.
sure the holidays don't fall, but New Year's is a full week after Christmas, so we're good.
Right, we're good. Thanksgiving got us, but we're okay for the next one.
Right. All right, folks. See ya.
Bye.
I know.